By the light of the sun, by the depth of the moon, by the flame of the wand, and by the pentacle of earth, I call upon the guides of wisdom, the ancestors of the craft, and the holy guardian angel. Guide us now through the stations of the dove and serpent. Reveal what is hidden, that we may transform it into light. Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Today we walk the path of the dove and serpent spread, an 11-fold journey of transformation. Each position reveals a unique aspect of your journey, alternating between the essence of your being and the events that shape your destiny. Remember to hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Cancer, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with the Eight of Swords. It is a card of analysis. It's a card of paying attention to the little details, right? It's thinking everything through. It might sometimes be overthinking, right? Or over-analysis. This is sometimes the card of like making things more complex than they need to be. But this is the first position. It's the station. It reveals your sense of self, your essential kind of personality right now, or kind of a preoccupation, okay? What your ego is busy doing. Kind of busy thinking, right? Busy trying to work things out, busy trying to formulate plans, busy trying to analyze plans and making things more complex than they need to be. So this is that, kind of analysis paralysis sometimes, yeah? And this seems to be something in your life is being thought about rather than being acted upon, okay? So it's like we're spending a lot of time planning something, thinking it through, organizing it, editing it, doing it and redoing it, on paper rather than just trying it out, This is what I used to talk about this for myself. I would be kind of considering, I'd make a list of all the books I want to read. I'd separate them into categories. I would figure out what's the genre and like rank them, like how much do I want to read this book and that book. And I would do all this organization, and I would consider which book I'm going to read today. I'd put it in a schedule, put it in an order. I did a lot of that, didn't do a lot of reading. It's back in the day when I was bullet journaling. I'd spend a lot of time putting together the spread, drawing the lines, making the charts, and doing all that stuff. Didn't really do a lot of work journaling. Didn't spend a lot of time writing, but a lot of time organizing and planning and doing all that stuff, right? So this seems to be something that is kind of like we're stuck on something. We're ruminating on something. There's something that we're just not letting go of it. We're not acting on this, right? And so it's kind of like we're creating like a web of tangles, a bunch of wires around us that we can't get out of. It's a big ball of Christmas lights, that we just kind of can't resolve. There's no way to untangle this now. When we've made something so complex that the only way is to kind of scrap it and start over, that might be a kind of an indication that we've taken things a little too far here. Maybe it's time to simplify. Okay, but we certainly can't be accused of like not thinking it through. We certainly can't be accused of like not paying attention or not looking at every detail. I feel like you've looked at every possible angle of something. We've spent a lot of time, analyzing this, thinking about it, ruminating on it, stewing over it. Okay, so let's put this card into a little bit of context. Let's see what is going on for you. We've got, we've got a 9 of Pentacles. We have a 3 of Wands. We have the High Priestess. We have the universe, or the world. A Knight of Wands, very good. More fire energy. Over here, we have the Tower. We have a 6 of Cups. We have the Princess of Pentacles and the Empress. Oh my goodness. We have kind of the problem, the fear and the reassurance. Because the Princess of Pentacles is the card that really wants to become the Empress, but is afraid that it'll never get to fulfill that potential, right? So this is the position of our fear, worry, and concern. The fear is that we will remain forever frozen, that we will not succeed at whatever the goal is, that we will not fulfill our life or fulfill our destiny, that we will not have success, right? This is the card that wants to become the Empress. It's our fear that we won't do that. But here we are. Our destiny is to become that energy. It's not gender specific, okay? We'll get there. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right over here with Tiny Bob Ross right on top. And we're not going to look at that happy little card until the very end. But it will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card could be, put your prediction in the comments down below, okay, or your guess or your hunch, whatever you got. As we look around the room, we see some very fine major arcana energies. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Trusting in ourselves, trusting in the universe, breaking through, allowing the breakthrough to happen, kind of like getting out of this tangle of wires, right? Simplifying, invoking a little bit of tranquility, a little bit of trust, a little bit of faith is going to allow us to move into our destiny, into our best self and our best life. The success of whatever's going on for you right now, okay? We've got fire, we got some water, you got some air, and you got some earth, okay? Now the earth energy. 9 of Pentacles, this is position 2. It's the battle position. It reveals your personal task or quest, your field of conflict and challenge. It shows the events or situations that test your strength and your resolve. Right now, there's this question of progress. We're thinking so much. Are we making progress? Do we see anything happening? What is all this thinking getting us? It's not a time for thinking about the progress. It's a time for doing. It's a time for acting on our faith. We can reason all day long. This is us doing the math over and over and over again, crunching the numbers. We don't like what we saw, crunch them again. It's going to be the same, right? And we keep doing that. We're making things more complicated than they need to be. The mind is sort of, I don't know, the mind likes to think, right? Thoughts beget thoughts, beget thoughts, beget more thoughts. Pretty soon we have a whole universe full of thoughts, but we didn't get anything done. So it makes sense to think about things, analyze things. You know, you kind of have like an engineering kind of mind. You like to know how things work. But it's one thing to see the schematics and to see everything on paper. It's another thing to actually be out here doing the thing. Okay, so the 9 of Pentacles is that situation that's testing your strength right now. Do we have the faith that we need? Because we certainly don't have any kind of mental certainty. If the mind had its way, it would say, you know, give me another few years and I'll figure out the equations, I promise. You know, and of course the mind's going to say that. The mind loves to think. The mind loves to ask questions and have answers. And then we have to ask questions about all those answers. And then we get more answers and more questions. Questions and answers, it's all day. It's a tangle of wires until we're so wrapped up in this complexity, we don't know which way is up. So instead, the gain, the progress, the 9 of Pentacles is saying, where do we have to grow and transform? Like, how can we just move forward without needing any kind of, you know, the mental certainty? It could be that we have a good enough plan. We don't need to continue to edit and re-edit and refine things. You've got the journal, just write the journal, use the journal, you know? We don't have to, you know, it's like we have the books, just read a book. We don't have to organize everything and overdo it, okay? So the 9 of Pentacles is a card of gain. It's a card of progress. It's a card of doing some work, you know, and not just thinking about it, not just planning it, not just organizing it or ruminating on it or stewing about it, but just doing something, Okay? So right now, our courage is being called upon to say, let's trust in something other than this logical mind that doesn't seem to be certain about anything, doesn't have any answers. Let's just do something. Let's do something. Let's trust in ourselves. Let's trust in the universe that whatever we do right now is going to lead us somewhere. It's better to move forward with no plan or a bad plan than to just stay put until things are perfect, until the mind at some point spits out an answer. Maybe we're trying to decide something. Maybe we're kind of thinking of the right course of action. We're trying to plot the right course. We're trying to drive from California to New York. And we're planning every little move. Planning, okay, you start out, you drive 25 miles an hour down your street, you make a left, you drive 35 miles an hour, you make a right, you get on the freeway, you drive 65 miles an hour for a certain amount of miles, and then you take your foot off the gas a little bit, you start turning the wheel to the right, you take this exit. That exit is number whatever, 187, right? It's a little bit too much. Simplify. You want to go from California to drive east. Simple, right? This is where we are trying to outline every single detail. Yeah. We're trying to explain every little muscle movement, and the more you do it, the more you're going to have to explain. You take your foot off the gas and make a right turn. What movements are involved in me taking my foot off the gas? Well, you have to use your flexor, kind of whatever muscle, your, I don't know if it's an adductor or abductor muscle. You have to use that muscle. Okay, well, how do muscles work? Okay, well, then you need to get into the whole, nerve conductivity and ATP and metabolism. Pretty soon you're explaining everything in the universe. It's way too complicated. Just drive east, you'll get there. Use your intuition, follow the signs. I don't know. You know what I mean? Once we start feeling like we have to explain everything or detail everything or understand everything, the more details there are for us to have to understand and explain. And thoughts beget thoughts beget thoughts. So your courage right now, the universe is kind of urging you, testing you to say, can we just get going and trust in something else? Can we just be settled and be at peace with what we have already learned or what we already know, and feel like maybe I'll pick up the rest of it along the way. That maybe I know enough now that I can keep going and I can figure things out along the way a little bit. Because the Eight of Swords is Jupiter in Gemini. Too many thoughts, too much analysis. That the more we try to explain one thing, it gives us more terms that we have to define, more concepts that we have to explain. Pretty soon, we're explaining the entire world. We're explaining everything in the universe, and that's an infinite task. So we're using up all of our processing power trying to explain the entire universe just so we can drive from California to New York. And that's way too, no. Spirit's saying, let's just get a move on, right? Because pretty soon, we're not going to even want to go to New York anymore. So our courage right now, where we are, the conflict that we're involved with right now is this need to make progress. We got to get on the road, but we have this problem of not having all the answers. And so this is our challenge, okay? The next card that we have is the position 3, the 3 of Wands, the soul. This is your unconscious drive. This is your private self, the emotional landscape beneath the persona. This is the card of virtue. It's your hidden attitude, right? It is kind of the feeling. This is your inner power that is going to shape your destiny. And what is this concealed part? Well, this is, in a way, this is confidence. This is the sun in Aries. It's basically saying, I know how to do it. Are you sure? Nope. But I'm going to do it. Right? That our current state of mind is the ego saying, I don't know how to do it. I got to figure out every single thing down to the physics of it, right? I got to explain the physics of the entire universe. So I can just to go from California, LA to New York, right? It's a very fun drive. But this is that part of you, inside of you, that just says, let's just go. Let's just get on the road. I need to get out there. I have this virtue. This is kind of saying, like, I know we can figure it out. It's like, come on, I'm confident that I can do this. But then that other part of our mind is saying, no, let's calculate it for a little while longer. Give me a few more years. We'll get everything figured out, and then we can go. This part of you is not going to wait, right? This part of you is going to blow, right? It's a kind of a pressure coming from inside. It is this need for the road trip. And pretty soon, if we don't let this energy, this is a fiery, creative energy, if we don't let it out, it's either going to go supernova, tower, or it's going to fizzle out, it's going to diminish, and we're not even going to want to go. And then we sort of just get this lifeless, barren, empty, I've lost all motivation. We're motivated now. We better act now. Even if there's that part of us that is scared because we don't know what we're doing, we've never done it before, it's something new, we need to let this energy out. Okay? Again, Mars and Aries. This is an Aries card too. I maybe would watch the Aries reading if I were you. Okay? So this is that part of us that we're trying to honor. It's saying, okay, I feel a confidence and I feel a motivation. I feel this urge. You know, I feel an impulse now to take action, to start a new path. I better just do it before either something blows or until this fire gets extinguished. Okay, and gets completely put out. We want that fire. Now, position 4 is the dwarf. It is usually an event, okay, and it's an inertial drag. It's something that might be shaping our current situation or holding us back a little bit. And I think that this was, for you, it's the High Priestess. It's a card of intuition. It's a card of trust. Okay? And I think that maybe you're realizing that those moments of your life in the past, think about your history. How many times have you ignored your intuition and it turned out to be a good idea? Okay, I'm glad I ignored my intuition there. How many times have you ignored your intuition and you ended up regretting it? Because what I think is going on is that you're learning to trust yourself. Because despite this 8, right, despite the 8 of Swords, you're getting on the road. You're taking action. You're giving expression to this. See, this is that Aries energy that's being suppressed. Well, no, you're letting it out. This is the horse and the rider are one. We're taking off into the future. Okay, so I think this is a really big deal for you. This is those past events, those past fears, or those past failures, where we didn't do the thing that we intuitively knew we should have done, and things didn't work out well for us. Or alternatively, think of those occasions in life where you trusted yourself and how it worked out for the best. You have really awesome stuff. See, the High Priestess is your intuition, is always trying to lead you to your best life. The High Priestess is card number 2. What's card number 3? What's right behind the High Priestess? I'll give you a hint. The Empress. The High Priestess is always, your intuition is always trying to lead you to your best life. It's trying to lead you through the briar patch of your own doubt, your own mental ruminations, your own overthinking and your own overanalysis, trying to lead you through that to take action to get here. And of course, we have also the Princess of Pentacles, which is that part of you that is afraid we'll never get here. This is Big Rock Candy Mountain. This is paradise. This is the Garden of Eden. This is your best self living your best life. This is it. This is paradise, right? And this is us not getting there. Well, if we stay in this rumination, over-complex, over-complicated, over-analytical mind, and we don't take action, our opportunity is going to wither away. This is happening fast. You need to take action now. Otherwise, this opportunity will be gone. We got to trust that intuition. Okay? So these past events, it's like your intuition is back here trying to say, don't forget about me. This is really the way forward for you. So it's important that we remember the past where we either did or did not follow our intuition, and what were the results? Okay. I think that there have been maybe some missed opportunities in your life where you should have followed your gut. You should have taken the hand that was being offered to you to guide you forward. But maybe we didn't. Maybe we let our mind, our fear get the best of us. And that's something that we can identify and say, yeah, when I ignored my intuition, things didn't turn out so well for me. And those times where I followed this, where I trusted this, I was led into a better place. So we can use this now as reinforcement for this current Eight of Swords energy to say, okay, I can get through that. I can will myself out of that Eight of Swords. It doesn't mean that the mind is going to be, certain of anything. We're not getting clarity, but we're doing it anyway. We're trusting in things anyway. Yeah. We don't want to let our fears, old fears or old failures, limit our freedom. Now, position 5, the Giant. This is your driving force. This is your creative impulse. This is the personal virtue that propels you forward. It is the Universe card. And this illuminates in some ways the powers. What strengths do we need? Who do we need to become right now in order to embrace our destiny? To get to that Empress life, what do we have to do? What do we have to be? Well, we've got to be brave. We've got to be courageous, right? Because this is a card of being lost in space. This is a card of not seeing, not knowing which way is up. I'm out here in the world. I'm out here in outer space, and I don't know which way I'm pointing. But I'm out here doing it anyway. We might have to feel lost. Okay? We might have to feel like I don't know which way I'm going. I don't know who I am or where I am or what I'm doing. This is the card of a delay. Yeah. This is the card that says the virtue we need right now isn't patience, but to remove the restrictions that we've placed on ourselves. To get out of the tangle of wires is to get free. But there's comfort in our ruminations. There's comfort in our overthinking. Okay? Because it feels safe. We're safe in our own mind. Because we're not out here floating around in outer space, alone. So we have a difficult time sometimes getting out of the comfortable. And right now, the virtue that we need is not more patience or more delay, but to stop delaying. This is a Saturn card as well as an Earth card. And it's saying we have to stop postponing our destiny. We have to stop postponing our answer, our response to the summons, answering the call of our quest, of our destiny. We don't want to delay any longer. So it's kind of like, the Spirit's saying, this is happening fast. We got to get up. We got to take action. We can't postpone. We can't procrastinate. We can't delay. We can't say, well, give me a few more years to figure out all the math and then we'll go. No, we go now. We go now because if we don't, we're not likely to go tomorrow or 5 years from now, And where we're going is perhaps, the Nine of Pentacles, to make the progress, to get on the road, to start succeeding or living that life of growth and success, to start building the best life and building the best version of ourselves. It may be a financial thing. It may be some kind of a physical thing. It's like we've got these goals, and they're not just going to fulfill themselves. Thinking about it is not the same as walking. Thinking about the path is not the same as being on the path. The map is not the territory. Calculating the trajectory is not the same as really projecting ourselves that way, right? Anticipating the line going up and to the right is not the same as actually doing the work and living the life that's going to take that line up and to the right. The projections, right, is not the reality. So it's about getting out of the mind and getting into the physical realm, getting back in touch with our bodies, getting back in touch with, I don't know all the answers. I don't think, I don't think I know all the answers. Realizing that our thoughts are not the physical reality. Our thoughts are speculative at best. So we're trying to connect with what we can feel, what we can hold. What do our senses tell us? Yeah, I'm making progress. I'm getting there. I'm getting closer to New York, or getting closer to my destination. Okay, and it's not something that we need to logically figure out. It's not we got to do the math. I can look out the window and I can see, okay, yeah, I can see the sign. I'm going through Nebraska. I'm getting there, or whatever. I don't know, whatever state, Nevada. I don't need to like look at the map to see, okay, if I do the calculations, where am I in the world right now? No, I can look out the window and say, okay, I'm getting closer to New York. I know, I can tell. Okay. So the universe card is really, how we harness our own energy in order to give ourselves some direction. We could maybe be feeling like we've been kind of lost in space already, that we don't really know. We're just kind of, we're here, we're floating around, and we're trying to do the math to figure out which way to go. Well, it's kind of time now to just point yourself in the direction and hit the gas, and, we can course correct later. But the longer we delay, we're not getting any younger here, So we have to harness our own internal propulsion in order to get ourselves out. Because right now, yeah, maybe we're just kind of floating around. We don't have a sense of direction. Maybe we don't know what we want to do. We don't know which direction to go. I don't have any answers. I haven't plotted a course yet. Okay, well, let's just get started doing something. Position 6, the imago. This is the event. Okay, this reveals the next step, or your future events, the immediate consequences of our actions, right? And it's a card of taking action. By making the decision to get out of our mind and to just get into our physical body and start doing something, doing the activity, whatever it is, right, is liberating a lot of energy for you. It's a motivation. This is a card of trust, right? This is the next step for you. It's about trusting your intuition. The horse and the rider have to be one unit. Right now, the horse and the rider might be separated by a lot of thought, a big chasm of thought, a big abyss of the mind. You're reconnecting this. Okay? You're reconnecting the power supply. You're putting your conscious mind and your intuition together. The horse and the rider are one unit. They're trusting each other. If the horse doesn't trust the rider, and the rider doesn't trust the horse, you're going to fall down. The horse is going to throw you right off of its back. We've got to be one unit, right? And I think that this is really about us not hesitating, trusting ourselves enough, trusting the universe, trusting ourselves, and going forward with everything we've got, full power, with no hesitation. We don't want to put any space in between the horse and the rider. We don't want to put any thought in between. Because once we wedge a thought in between our conscious mind and our intuition, it turns into doubt and hesitation, and then mistakes happen. Okay? So, right now this is where our path leads us next, into action, into the liberation of energy. That this is you in alignment with your goals. And these are you making the choices that will guide you to the life that you seek. Your intuition is guiding you, and you're going full force. You're not hesitating. You're keeping up with spirit, right? Now, Path of the Serpent, we're going to talk about these cards. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. If there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, the Tower is the persona. And this is sometimes the face we wear, the mask we wear in the greater theater of life, the way other people see us, how we might present ourselves to the world. And this is a card of chaos. This is a card of destruction. This is the card of somebody that's like on edge, somebody that is so frazzled, they're just like they haven't slept, their hair is a mess, and they're just about ready to break, about ready to blow or break down, And so people might see you as like a ticking time bomb. Yeah. That so consumed by the analysis or by the thought that there's something in you that's just ready to, I don't know, it's like you've been working on a project for so long, but now it's become so bogged down with details. It's become so complicated that in frustration, we just scream and like smash it on the ground. You know? It's like I'd rather start over than try to unravel this tangle of wires. Okay? I think the idea is that we don't want to get to that point. I think people kind of see you as somebody that like, that you don't have, you're not projecting an attitude of calm confidence right now. You know, but I think that this can serve us in a way, because this is kind of that frustration or that moment where we do blow, where we do say, screw it, I can't figure out this math problem, I can't figure out the equations, and we throw our calculator on the ground and we just get in the car and we go. You know, we're liberating energy here. And it may really feel like a storm. It may feel like chaos. It may feel like we're going supernova. I feel like we're breaking out of the restrictive thoughts. We're breaking out of this cycle of rumination and doubt. And so, yeah, it might feel that this is, that we're sort of unhinged. It might feel like we're a little bit chaotic in life right now. And other people might be seeing us as like kind of a loose cannon. But I feel that this is that moment of frustration. This is the moment where everything changes. Right? Because we're getting out of that. We're breaking out of those wires. We're so tangled up in these details that it just takes a surge of this energy to just break through. And then we're in the car, we're driving. And sometimes that's what it takes, you know. Sometimes, you know, let's say you're trying to break down an obstacle. Let's say you're trying to take down an old brick wall in your yard. I don't know why it's there, but you're trying to take down this old brick wall. And you're doing the math, and you're trying to figure it out. You're looking on YouTube, and you're trying to say, well, how do I take down a wall? What's the right thing to do? How do I do it? And we're calculating, and we're measuring, and we're thinking, and we're measuring again, and we're thinking. And then one day we just say, screw it. We get the sledgehammer, and we knock the wall down. It takes 2 seconds, but it seems chaotic. It seems like we're losing our shit, right? But it's that frustration that just says, I'm tired of not getting it done. I'm tired of not acting. I'm just going to, there's a surge of energy, and we get it done. Okay? And the idea is that maybe we don't quite get it done well, you know? And maybe there could have been a more peaceful way of doing it, okay? And so, either way, this is that card of change. Maybe we can initiate some action before we get to this level of frustration, though. You know what I mean? Because this is not always the most, well, like I said, peaceful way of doing things. Sometimes the tower event is going to cause some ripple effects. You know, it's like, we got the wall down, but I also tore up the lawn, you know? And so there could maybe be an easier way to do things. But at least it's done, you know. But if we can get it done before we get to this point, then all the better, right? The next card is, the 8th position, the shadow. And these are some influences from your environment. There's some circumstances that might test you by stirring up something inside of you. It's the 6 of Cups. It's pleasure. It's the card of community. It's the card of connection, okay? And this might be kind of, in a way, seeing other people in the way they're doing things. Seeing other people out here, you know, kind of enjoying their journey. And we think, why am I here stewing about stuff? Why am I here worrying about things or ruminating on things that have happened or have not happened yet? Rather than just doing something about it. You know, other people are already enjoying their pool. And here I am trying to figure out how to dig the hole. And it's in a way we're looking at the tranquility that is possible out there, and we're thinking, I want that too. And so maybe we're starting to feel in our heart like there's an easier way to do this. And maybe that is through trust and through letting go and through acceptance and through trusting the heart. You know, the heart, right? This is harmony. It's water energy. It's harmony. It's beauty. It's love. This is mental, and this is chaos. So it might be like we just need to do what's going to make our heart feel good. Even if our mind doesn't know, it's going to be such a release for us to just get on the road and do it. You got the wind in your hair, or you got your favorite tunes, or your favorite podcast, or your favorite YouTube tarot reader on the radio in the car, you know, and it just feels good. It makes my heart happy. Okay, because right now the heart can't be happy if the mind is in this much turmoil and the mind's all twisted up. The heart certainly isn't feeling very good. And so maybe instead of trying to satisfy the mind, let's just satisfy the heart. My heart's going to feel good once I get on the road, right? And once I'm putting some miles behind me, the wind's in my hair, all that stuff feels good. Makes my heart happy. I'll figure out the directions along the way. I'll pull over, ask for directions. I'll check the map once in a while. I'll just look at the signs. It doesn't matter. I just am going to feel better once I get moving. Because maybe, you know, we've been here in the planning phases for so long, we're starting to get that frustration and that anxiety. It's like, let's just get a move on, please. You know, it is such a relief. And to me, this card feels like tranquility, you know. And I think that your heart wanting this kind of tranquility and this kind of peacefulness and just this joy and pleasure is making you feel anxious. It's making us feel like we got to hurry up and go. We're kind of getting the jazz hands. You know, we're tap dancing on the shag carpet because we're itching to go because we want this release and relief, and we want this pleasure. We want this tranquility. Okay. And so, you know, I think that this is in your environment, in your relationships. I feel that this, like getting a move on here, getting things going in whatever direction this is for you, is going to make your entire life feel better, right? It's going to allow you to rest. It's going to let your heart rate slow down, and our skin temp is going to cool down, and we're going to feel so much better. Okay, because right now there's a lot of this energy that's being pent up, and somehow it needs to go somewhere. Position 9 is the specter. It shows the fear, worry, concern, the anxieties. Okay, the parts of ourself that are sort of challenging us to grow, because this is saying, I'm not where I want to be. Okay, this is what we have to face to step into our power. I think we're afraid to be limited. We're afraid to not fulfill our potential. This is us staying put. If I stay put because of my overthinking, then I'm not growing. I'm not doing the 9 of Pentacles, right? And so if I stay here, this is going to dry out. My potential won't be fulfilled. This Princess of Pentacles will not become the Empress. And that is a tragedy. Okay? So in some ways, we can use this fear to motivate us. I'm afraid of not getting to New York. Well, then I better just get on the road. I'll feel much better knowing that I'm at least on my way. Okay? You know, it's kind of like in life when you know that you got somewhere to go, like you're going to your friend's house or something or whatever, and you know it's going to be a long car ride. And it's like the later it gets in the morning, you're starting to get anxious because you're like, oh, I know we've got like a 5-hour car ride, and I'm getting kind of anxious. Can we please just get on the road? The sooner we get on the road, the sooner we'll get there, you know? And so the longer we wait, let's say you're waiting for your family, your kids, or your parents or something to get ready, and it's just like, come on, you know? Or like, you know, you have somewhere to be, but like your car's in the shop or something, you're getting the oil changed or whatever. And you're just like, you keep looking at your watch. You're like, they got to hurry up because I got to go. I got somewhere to be, you know. So I think that we can kind of use this as motivation because there's nothing really keeping us back right now except for our own restrictions, okay? And right now we have to face the reality that if we don't get a move on, we're not going to reach this destination. And of course, position 10 is the destination, the destiny, the event, the final outcome of your journey, the culmination of your quest, and all these events and everything that's shaping your transformation, right? And this is your realized self in the world. The event here is you arriving in your destiny, feeling good, living the life you're meant to live, fully realizing your highest potential. Okay? The the dry and barren landscape has now become the garden. Well, it's only going to become the garden if you go out there and plant the plants. You're waiting. You're getting it. The season's almost over. You haven't planted your vegetables yet. You got to hurry up. You're going to miss the window. Right? And so there's this growing anxiety that says, if I don't get these plants, and we went through this, my wife and I went through this just this last week, because we were saying, we got to get some vegetables in the garden, otherwise we're going to miss the season. It's not going to happen. And so there's that growing anxiety. Every day that goes by, it's like, we're really cutting it close. We got to get it going. We got to do it. And we got them planted. We got some potatoes, some tomatoes. It's going to be great. We got some string beans, some flowers and things like this, and zucchini. There's one other thing. I don't know if it's watermelon. I don't remember. But anyway. And now it's such a relief. Now it's like, okay, now I can just go. I can water it and watch it grow, and that anxiety is gone now. And because now we've gotten it's on its way. There's nothing else for us to do now but maintain, to continue to do the work. And now that you finally left the house, you're on the road. And every moment that goes by, you're getting closer to your goal. And so you have the wind in your hair. You got your podcast on the radio. And all you got to do is drive the car, stop for gas, get some food, use the bathroom, take a nap. And you're on your way, and it feels good. Okay. So this is asking us now, what must I do right now to get things going? If I want to get here, I've got to start doing something now, taking some sort of action. Not thinking about it, not planning it, not organizing it, not journaling about it, but doing it. Okay? Maybe the Eight of Swords is you've been writing about this for a long time, journaling it, but we haven't done the thing yet. What thing must we do right now that will get us a little bit closer to our goal? That's going to help to ease the anxiety in your heart right now. Okay. Now, let's do the next position. Position 11, the guide, the mystery card. This reveals your higher self, your inner teacher, and your deepest wisdom, right? It shows the character qualities we have to develop if we're going to walk the path ahead. What do you think it's going to be? Well, to answer your question, I think it's going to be an ace, right? I think it's going to be the Chariot, maybe your power card, or it's going to be an ace. It's going to be some kind of card of action. All right, it's going to be an odd-numbered card, or it's going to be the Chariot. Might be the Emperor, actually. Well, let's see what we have. It is the Moon. Okay, well, the Moon says that in order for us to walk the path ahead of it, we have to face the fear. Fear of the unknown. The fear of not having the driving directions. The fear of not having the MapQuest printed out. It's kind of like, MapQuest is down. I guess I can't travel today. Well, you got somewhere to be. What do you mean you can't travel? Just trust your intuition. Just go out there, point your car east, and go. Read the signs. You'll figure it out. You might get a little lost here and there. You might have little moments of freaking out, but you're going to feel much better once you get on the road. You're never going to make it home until you get in the car and you start driving. And so the only thing preventing us from driving right now is the fear that I don't know where I'm going and I don't have the directions. Okay. So this Moon card is a doorway. And we're going to do a doorway card. This Moon card is saying that we're right on the threshold of certainty. But we have to push ourselves over this threshold. Otherwise, we're going to be paralyzed by fear. Fear of the unknown. This is a card that says, I don't have the answers. Right? This is the card of saying, I'm going out into the dark, scary forest. I'm going out into the vast universe, and I don't have my coordinates. I don't have any trajectory. I don't have the math. Ground control didn't send me my navigation data or whatever, right? We're going to have to just pilot the ship ourselves. We're going to have to trust that intuition to pilot the ship, okay? We're going to have to trust ourselves, trust that something inside of us knows the direction. Yeah, go east, right? You don't know how to get home? Point towards that pretty blue marble in the distance. That's home, okay? Well, let's do our Divine Doorway card, and then we will move on to our extended reading. So really, this is a card of courage, right? A note on love. Seek different seasons and enter into the unknown. When love is the focus, foundation, and goal, blessed is the body, mind, and soul, right? Enter into the unknown because, you're focused on this love. The higher love of the Empress, the Six of Cups, right? We're focused on that love and that tranquility, so that's going to allow us to have the courage, right? Because that's that's what your higher self is telling you right now. You're facing the unknown. You're going to have to be courageous. There is no guarantee. There is no certainty. The only way to get there is to do it. The only way to know is to go. So you're entering into the unknown, all right? Now, please, let the lessons of these 11 stations settle into your heart. Each card is a mirror. Each station is a temple of transformation, alternating between who you're becoming and the world you're creating. Remember that the tarot does not dictate your future. It reveals the patterns of possibility. It invites you to co-create your destiny. If this reading has illuminated your path in any way, please share your reflections below. Together, we journey onward, ever upward and ever inward. And we're going to do an extended reading. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There is a link in the corner. There's a link down below in the video description. New readings for Cancer are on Tuesdays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both the readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.